podcast party. Descent into Avernus.
My name is Painbearer Corbin Shiv. My friends and I just cleansed the altar of Torm and saved Duke Ulder Revenguard from his trance. Now, maybe we can finally get some answers about how to save the city of Elturel from Avernus.
I say, Lord Revenguard, it's nice to see you restored to your senses. I'm Renascence.
I'm Hylan.
And that's Reya and Lulu and Ofelia and Corbin. We're in High Hall Cathedral in the city of Elturel, which is currently in Avernus. Not sure how much you remember about how you came to be here.
I know where I was. His voice indicates to you that this is a man who has commanded hundreds, if not thousands, of troops, but he doesn't raise it to that level with you.
Is he still wearing that helmet?
The helmet has fallen to the ground.
We need to go. Those things are going to come back.
Yeah. Your lordship, I think we'd better go downstairs into the crypts.
Oh, so you're with the rest of the refugees?
Sister Pherria, yes. We came here from Baldur's Gate after the city descended into Avernus to try to help.
I see.
We know Zodge. We know Dom and Zodge, so...
I don't know, that's going to help.
Oh, he knows who he is at least.
Sorry, I was name dropping there. Trying.
We've also met Commander Portier.
Well, the last I remember, she was down in Schult.
Her uncle recalled her to Baldur's Gate when you disappeared.
I guess that was appropriate, considering the situation.
Does anyone have magic to pick up that thing?
I will conjure Mage Hand and pick up the helm with it and just
Lulu, actually, as you start to conjure the Mage Hand, she starts to speak. And she says, "My goodness, that was certainly some kind of mystical adventure in my head."
Yes, we saw that too. We should discuss it once we get through the doorway here.
Well, hold on just for 1 second.
Okay.
She starts to flap. Is the hut still active?
It would be.
Yeah. So she flies up through the hut and up into the upper rafters of the cathedral.
Oh, no.
Lulu, come down.
Hold on just for 1 second.
I leave the hut.
What is she doing?
I'm just waiting, looking up at her.
Jump back in if you need.
Okay.
I can't leave.
Reya, are you all right?
Reya looks at you, and she's a mess. Her brow is stained with sweat. Her hair, of course, has been changed to pure white, and she's heaving with both the physical as well as psychological exhaustion that she's just undergone. And she says, "I'll manage."
Did well. You're a credit to the Hell Riders.
When you say that, Ulder looks over at Reya and says, "I thought they were all dead." And Reya looks at Ulder and says, "What do you mean, all dead?" And Ulder doesn't say anything.
Well, go on and answer her.
Ulder looks at you, Renascence, and says, "Well, when we got here, Hell Riders defended High Hall and put up a valiant effort alongside my men. But the combined might of the devilish and demonic forces constantly battering at this place. One by one, the Hell Riders fell. I'm sorry, your people are indeed valiant." And Reya falls to her knees.
Reya, I am so sorry. And she gives her a hug. And then she says, "But look at what you've just accomplished. You can raise a new generation of Hell Riders."
I'm only 17.
Well, you've accomplished much more than many people I know have by the age of 17, and you've come out alive. I think that there's much greatness ahead in your future.
She looks at you, Ofelia, and says, I just don't know if I can do this alone.
Well, you don't have to do it alone. You have an entire community who will be behind you. You have us. We will support you.
Your mission ain't changed, Reya. You're here to defend the city of Elturel and her people. They're downstairs in High Hall, and they still need you.
She looks at Ulder, and Ulder just nods at her.
I look up at Lulu. What is Lulu doing?
Lulu has finally come down from the ceiling.
Oh, thank God.
She re-enters the hut and just sort of immediately, instinctively sees the sorrow in Reya's eyes and just floats over to her and wraps her trunk around her waist and says, Sugar, you did amazing. And I got some great news. So it might make you feel better. So cheer up. And Reya just giggles a little bit and says, How can I say no to you, Lulu? I can't even say your name. And Lulu says, Listen, I got some interesting news. That vision that we all shared, well, that was my past, the stuff I couldn't remember. That woman who took the sword and plunged it into a rock, well, that was Yael. Yael was Zariel's most loyal Hell Rider. And I remember I used every ounce of goodness in my heart, and I raised a shield around that sword because it meant so much to Zariel. Zariel gave Yael that sword and told her to hold on to it to her last breath. So I made this fortress against evil to protect the sword. Revenguard crosses his arms across his chest and says, Who are you? And Lulu says, I'm a champion of good like you. I mean, are you a champion of good? And she sort of looks at him quizzically. He says, Of course I am. I'm the Lord Commander of the Flaming Fist. I don't know what that is. And Ulder shakes his head. And Lulu says, As I was saying, this sword, I put a fortress around it. And then there was this big explosion, and the whole ground opened up and swallowed the whole fortress and the sword and that ugly demon thing that was chasing us. And I think Yael too. Maybe I'll remember more later. But I do remember that part where the two bird folk, their names were Chukka and Clonk.
So just a question, because I remember you said we saw these bird people in the vision.
Right.
That we all shared together. So we've seen different kind of bird people. Like, were they Vrocks? Did they look like the Vrock that we met?
Chukka and Clonk are very humanoid looking.
Those sound like Kenku names.
Yes. These are, in fact,
Chirps and Tweety, the bartenders at the Low Lantern.
Kenku.
Yeah.
Lulu continues and says, Yeah, Chukka and Clonk, they took me to this junkyard called Fort Knucklebone. They were really interested in like repairing and building these vehicles, which had no horses in front of them. They just run on some kind of weird energy from hell or something like that. And they're designed to like move across the blasted wastelands of Avernus as fast as they can. I don't know how they work, but Chukka and Clonk were really interested in making them work. I do remember the Fort Knucklebone kind of looked like a giant hand from far away. So I flew up real quick to the top of the cathedral just to see if I could see it from here. And I do. It's like 10 miles from here. We got to find a way down, but it's within our reach.
Sorry, this is a lot of information.
It's down there.
Well, yeah.
Well, it's where the Styx is.
Yeah. We got to make sure we don't fall into the Styx.
Right, falling into the Styx is bad.
Bad.
I'm sorry, Lulu, I'm struggling a little bit. Is it the sword that you think we need?
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that's the whole point. If I can find the sword...
Chukka and Clonk might know where that is.
Well, they'll have the vehicles we could use to get to where that is, I think.
Right.
You know, you guys feeling the story I'm meaning to tell. I guess I get kind of ahead of myself sometimes.
No, you're doing great, Lulu.
It was exciting that you remembered it.
Yeah, no, that's really good. Well done.
What's this sword gonna do for us, though?
I don't know, but I feel like if there's anything gonna help you or the city or any of us, it's the powers in that sword.
Zariel is a very powerful foe.
She is now, but she was my good friend.
Lulu, no offense, but it seems like your memories have been damaged somehow. Do you think Zariel's memories are also damaged, like she might not know who she was?
Oh, goodness, I didn't think about that. If that is the case, well, I'm just gonna have to make her remember. Like you guys made me remember.
Yeah. Maybe the sword will remind her of what she really is.
Maybe.
I hope there's some way to help her.
What kind of being? And perhaps, I don't know, Matt, if this is something that I could, with an Arcana check or something, like have a better idea of, like a memory erasing or suppressing spell of this nature. What kind of being could create some sort of magic like that?
Yeah, you could make an Arcana check.
Yeah, I'm worried that the flip side is that Zariel did it to Lulu.
Okay, that's a 10 for Arcana.
Well, you know that there are very powerful spells that can alter the demeanor of any creature, ensorcel them, charm them, and in some cases, even change their memory. There are spells and objects that can do that. But as you guys all know, there are things that are not magical in this world and others that can have the somewhat same effect.
Trauma.
Do you think we could help Zariel? Is that what we're saying?
Ulder looks at you when you say that, Corbin. Help an archdevil? Are you mad?
She didn't start as an archdevil.
I didn't mean it like that. I mean, she was an angel, right? Maybe, I don't know. If Lulu can remember, maybe she can remember.
Of what good would that be, considering the forces that are marshaled before her?
What do you know? You don't know about archdevils.
Listen, we had the benefit of an encounter with that rock that Lord Revenguard didn't have, but it gave me some hope that we are not our nature, right? We have some choices.
Yes.
So maybe Zariel's got some choices as well. But on the other hand, we can't be naive because lying is one of the main things devils do. And if she thinks she can make us believe that and it's not true, then we'll be playing right into her hands. So we also have to be prepared that the way out for Elturel might mean fighting her, not helping her. But I'd like to believe we can all change.
Yes, I quite agree.
Best lead we've got is to find this sword, though, yeah? And the best lead we've got on that is to find, Chukka and Clonk at Fort Knucklebone.
Yes.
Yep.
But before we do anything else, I suggest that we get underground.
Yeah.
Well, then lead the way, says Ulder.
Once I leave the hut, it's gone, so look around, make sure there's nothing outside.
Okay, yeah, I'll look around.
Yeah, perception checks or whatever.
Absolutely, go for it. I'll give you a group perception check.
I will guidance myself.
Hylan got a 15.
Corbin crit failed with a 1, but that's an 11 for him.
You have a plus 10 to perception?
With guidance, I got a grand total of 6.
I got a 15.
Okay, Reya got a 6. She's totally fatoutsed
Yeah, she's
after that whole ordeal.
I guess she's allowed to be, a little tired.
Lulu rolled a 17.
Great.
And Ulder Revenguard.
I think it's going to come down to this because we've got 3 successes and 3 fails. So it's all down to Ulder.
Here we go. He rolled a 14. I'd say that between all of you, you don't hear any screaming, any roaring, any demonic gnashing of teeth. There is a silence in the cathedral.
We should try to be stealthy.
Revenguard, you want your sword?
I hold out his sword.
You took my sword?
You weren't using it.
Yeah, you are out of sorts.
He sort of raises his eyebrows. Well, thank you for returning it to me. And he takes it, places it back in its sheath. Reya takes the sword of the unknown hero that she's been using to qualify the ritual and holds it with a certain degree of awe.
I think we might have to put that back in her tomb.
Yes.
Reya nods and says, yes, absolutely. I'm nowhere near worthy enough to carry it.
Well, you absolutely are, but it's just that I'm concerned that that's what's keeping the fiends from being able to go down there.
Agreed. We should go.
Yes, let's. All right, stealth checks.
Guidance for Reya.
Guidance for myself.
Hylan got a 28.
Corbin got a 23.
Woohoo!
Ofelia got a 15.
Woo!
Okay, not bad. With guidance, I got a 16.
All right, that's more than half the group. So I won't even roll the rest. The 4, 5, 6, there are 7 of you now. Make your way over to the Fist of Torm, where the secret entrance to the Catacombs is. Reya pulls the secret lever, and you all descend down into the Catacombs once more.
Great, we should return the sword.
Before you do so, Reya presses the hidden device, and the hole closes up once more.
We'll do the sword first and then head back.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we head down the stairs and make our way through catacombs towards the Hellrider's crypt.
The form of the unknown hero is still on the bier, and Reya slowly walks forward and gingerly places the sword next to the body of the unknown hero, bowing her head slightly towards it.
Let's get the Grand Duke back to Sister Pherria.
I'll bow and then follow.
As we are walking, I just want to really keep my eyes and ears peeled for any sign that there could be anyone lurking about or anything lurking about in, around corners, in the shadows, etc.
You can make a single perception check for me.
Corbin would also like to, as we re-enter, he's going to look at all the different people, going to use his little ears and his bugbear ears and his nose and make sure that they all seem okay.
As soon as we sort of get in the main crypt area where most of the refugees are, I'm going to take out the dreidel and spin it, in case we have any unexpected infiltrators here.
Ofelia rolled an 8 in perception, so I take it she's not terribly helpful.
It's an echoey space. Can't really make anything out of it. When you spin your divine sense dreidel, you do not register within the radius of your power the presence of any celestial fiend or undead being.
I assume I'm still getting the celestial off of Lulu.
That has not changed.
Got it. Okay. No surprises. All clear. Do we have the helmet?
You do.
Should we do magic on it? Maybe Ofelia could do that magic thing she does?
Yeah. I mean, I'm a little gun shy about it because it kind of melted his brain.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to do that.
What if it could help us?
Should we talk to Revenguard about it? See, what he was trying to do?
Yeah, that was going to be my plan.
Yeah, so can we ask Revenguard what happened when he put on the helmet?
As I say, my lord, what did you hope to achieve by putting that on?
He says, I had understood that the Helm of Torm's Sight would give that user some vestige of hope of what to do. Being in hell does not mean that one is completely out of options, no matter how many men I've lost.
You were hoping for some guidance from Torm?
Well, I wasn't going to get anywhere else.
And what happened?
I don't remember very well. I remember an intense burning sensation, and my men, they tried to rip it off me. I don't remember.
I feel like that helm may have been compromised in some way.
Many things have been corrupted here.
Yeah, I'm not sure it's safe.
Sister Pherria runs to your group after she sees Ulder Revenguard has returned. My Lord Revenguard, you've returned. Yes, thanks mostly to these fine folks.
We will explain to Sister Pherria the process of rescuing the Duke and bringing him back here, and then helping him to remove the helmet by performing the ceremony as she advised us to do. I give her the non-Gideon Lightward version of this story. I do tell her there were undead and demons, though the cemetery is definitely not safe.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
So what do we do with this helmet? Do we throw it away? We can't leave it here. What if someone puts it on?
You say that, and Sister Pherria, she looks at you, Corbin, and says, if it is true indeed that the Helm of Torm's Sight has been corrupted by the demonic forces here in this awful place, I am pretty certain that with you having removed it from Ulder Revenguard's head, it is once again whole.
I will then cast Identify as a ritual. If she is confident that this is the case, I think Ofelia would trust her enough to attempt this.
Before Ofelia touches it, Corbin will say, I'll touch it first if you want.
That's very kind of you, Corbin. I think it'll be all right. And I just put my hand on it.
When you place your hand on this helmet, you are immediately infused with this freedom within you, this purity of heart. Something that, to be honest, Ofelia, you wish that you had had a long time ago. And it's a feeling that makes you filled with joy and elation, and you come to understand what exactly this helm does. It gives a worthy soul the ability to commune directly with the noble god Torm.
Wow.
You notice that the helm itself has sort of got this front portion of it that actually covers the user's eyes. It's got blue eyes painted on that metallic piece. But while wearing it, you can see through it as though the metallic piece isn't there, as if you weren't even wearing the helm.
I think Reya needs this.
You also gain a +1 bonus to your AC, and you have advantage on religion checks.
I think we need this.
Yeah, I think we need this, Carrie.
Yeah. Perhaps we can return it to Reya if we survive this, but if we are to go deeper into hell, I would like to be as well prepared as possible.
I guess that brings up another question, which is that I wonder, well, I guess it's up to Reya.
Is she coming?
Yeah, I have a feeling she may want to stay here.
Yes.
You know what I'm going to do, actually? While the 10-minute ritual casting of that is happening, there are holy water fonts down here, correct?
Yes.
Correct.
Okay. I will make my way over to that, and I'm going to use 3 pinches of my Dust of Dryness
Yes!
to
Yep.
absorb holy water into each of those pinches.
Yes!
You know, I was listening to the podcast the other day, and I was thinking to myself, when you were at Traxigor's tower, and how you rolled what you rolled on that random ass check.
Yeah.
And he complained a little, didn't he?
No, I didn't. I was very
No,
happy
he
with it.
didn't.
Just
at
like,
that point.
we can use it for water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's true.
And then I looked ahead a few chapters to this part, and I'm like, yeah, I hope Tal remembers that he's got the fucking Dust of Dryness.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I do something right.
There you go.
Hi, everybody. The show will be back shortly for the second half. Right now, it's time to give you the news about how you can play Dungeons & Dragons with us. Hey, have you ever wanted to plan an escape from a city floating over hell like our heroes are doing in this episode? Well, our professional dungeon masters are available to hire for online games. We have games for kids as well as adults, and our DMs can run almost any of the official Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition adventures, as well as third-party adventures and some we've created ourselves. Check us out at cast-party.com and follow us on Facebook at CastPartyDND, on Twitter at CastParty2, or on Instagram at cast_party. As always, we're offering monthly free online adventures with our Dungeon Masters. These free games fill up quickly, so if you'd like to grab a spot, you should join our email list or our Discord server. Links to both can be found at cast-party.com. If you enjoy Podcast Party, please follow the show, rate us, and leave us a review. We'd love to hear from you. Message us on social media or email us at info@cast-party.com. Follow us on Facebook at CastPartyDND, on Twitter at CastParty2, or on Instagram at cast_party. Thanks very much for listening. And now, back to our adventure in Avernus.
Okay, so 3 pinches of it to absorb holy water. I'm hoping that I can fill an elevator full of holy water at some point. That's
Oh, like The Shining?
yeah.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I've still got 2 pinches in case we meet a hostile water elemental.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. In hell.
In hell.
You don't know.
Now, back to the helm for a sec. It's worthwhile mentioning that, Ofelia, you know that the major power of the Helm of Torm's Sight, which is to give a worthy soul the ability to commune directly with Torm, that worthy soul must be a very well-intentioned, aka good aligned character.
Can I tell if that's why it didn't work for Ulder Revenguard?
Ooh.
It's not necessarily that he's an arch villain, but like he probably couldn't lift Thor's hammer, basically, is what.
Yeah, he can't lift Thor's hammer.
Which is not surprising considering what his job was.
Right.
Yeah. This is what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult to tell you that, honestly, Ofelia.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell that it didn't work. It could have been for any reason.
Yeah.
It could have been for the demonic influence in the fact that you're in hell.
Sure.
But you don't know.
Do you have to be a follower of Torm to communicate, or you just need to be a worthy soul of some sort?
Ofelia, when you get asked that question, you sort of instinctively know the answer, which is that you do not need to be a follower of Torm. I'm going to give you a little bit more crunch about this ability. Once you attune to this helmet, because it requires attunement, once every long rest, you will gain the ability to do what paladins and clerics do, which is to cast channel divinity.
Wow.
A special kind of channel divinity, which is called War God's Blessing.
Awesome. That is so great.
So great.
War God's Blessing is great.
So cool.
Yeah.
So
I don't know
cool.
what it is. I don't know what it is. Tell me.
I'm going to tell you.
Tell us more. Yes.
When a creature within 30 feet of you makes an attack roll, you can use your reaction to grant that creature a +10 bonus to the roll.
Oh.
So you can make this choice after you see the roll, but before the DM says whether the attack hits or misses.
Okay.
It is a reaction.
Oh.
That's really, really, really,
really
really,
good.
really cool. I would like it.
Well, it sort of can benefit everyone,
Yeah.
right? Because you can use it on any creature, right?
That's correct.
Corbin just says, I don't want it.
Ophelia doesn't have a god that she's aligned to. And also that it made her feel good in a way that she has not felt.
You should take it. Put it on.
Ophelia does.
You're going to need to attune to it.
Yes, I know it will take some time.
We're probably going to need to take a short rest down here anyway.
Short rest away, folks. Use your hit dice if you need to.
Also, I cast Song of Rest so you can get an extra D8.
Great. Thank you.
You notice that during your short rest, Sister Pherria Jynks is in a deep conversation with Reya Mantlemorn. A couple times you see Sister Pherria gesture at Reya's hair and put her hand on Reya's shoulder and nod. And Reya sort of speaks plaintively but quietly to her. And then Reya stands up from where she's been sitting talking with Sister Pherria Jynks. And she has this look of resolution on her face. She looks around to all of the Elturgardian refugees who have been staying alive as best they can down here in the catacombs. And then she looks over at the four of you, and her face grows sad.
Reya? Ophelia goes up to her.
Yes,
Are you all right?
I will be.
I know you will. So you're staying then?
I guess you could tell.
I think this is right. This is where you belong.
Yes, I must stay.
We've both got very important missions, Reya. We're going to get that sword. We're going to, one way or another, come back here and cut the chains that are keeping Elturel and Avernus.
We will miss you.
And I you.
Ophelia gives her a hug.
She returns the hug. Lulu says, I'm going with you.
Oh yes, we were certainly hoping you were, Lulu. I would have been quite distressed to find out you were considering not coming with us.
But we're going to need you to introduce us to Chukka and Clonk, right?
Well, I hope they remember me.
I hope that you remember more too as we continue to journey.
I'm sure I will. Now, how are we going to get down from here?
This is an excellent question.
I can fly one person.
Your big buggy bear friend. I saw him fly y'all up and down a couple times.
You think we could find that bird that Ren gave the book to? Maybe he'll fly us.
Don't know how to contact him.
Actually, I have a spell that I could contact that creature.
Oh,
Oh,
that might be the way to go. Maybe he'll help us.
Yes?
But it uses my most powerful magic, and then I won't have any more of that.
Forever? Or just temporarily?
No, just today.
well, we have that in the back pocket.
Hylan and maybe Corbin could fly us down. Might be a bit ostentatious. We could try climbing down the chains.
Oh,
We could try reaching out to that rock and see if he'll help. If it worked, it'd be worth that spell, Corbin.
You think he's still in that alley?
I don't know. Do you need to know where he is in order to contact him?
No. Might be worth it to check there first.
Like, go over there and see if he's there.
Yeah.
The thing is,
Dangerous.
we might use even more resources doing that.
That's true.
Corbin's going to ask if any of the other people here have any ideas. And he's going to look at that druid and say,
You're going to come with us, right? Help out?
Seltern looks at you, Corbin, and goes, "You're a funny one. I like you."
Seltern, I once knew a druid. She could transform herself into a variety of animals. Is that something that you have the power to do?
Of course I can.
Well, could you transform yourself into some sort of a large winged creature, which we could use to fly down, and then you could simply, once you dropped us off, fly back up and return to your community?
Large winged creatures are a little beyond my ability. I can make myself into swimming animals. Flying animals are a little bit beyond my knowledge. I can speak with them, though.
Have you seen any around to speak to?
No.
No.
Well, that's not really very helpful, is it?
I have an idea, but you'll have to tell me if you think this is too outlandish.
Mm-hmm. I have an idea that might even be more outlandish, so you do yours first.
Yes.
Fair enough. There are those in Elturel whose knowledge sort of moves into the more, how best to say it, non-magical, perhaps more mechanical.
Yeah, okay. I think you have the same terrible idea that I have.
Oh, good. That makes me feel much more confident.
Because I can't help remembering that there are a lot of giant tapestries upstairs that keep getting in my way when I try to see into other rooms.
I wasn't even thinking about that, but yes, tapestries? Yes.
You want to make flying carpets?
No. I was thinking more along the lines of parachutes.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes,
No.
I don't know what that is, but it sounds amazing.
But I was sort of thinking of them as a backup. Like if we fell off the chain, plan B would be, here's my parachute.
Right.
when we were over that bridge, how far down was it?
Well,
200 feet.
Let's not,
Are there any artificers here in Elturel?
Well, not at present.
Great.
But I was hoping that maybe one of you would be more inclined in that respect.
So your idea did not involve tapestries. What was it?
Making something that would be able to glide down to the surface of Avernus.
Yeah, the fact that you had a similar idea to me makes me think it's bad. No offense.
What sort of materials were you thinking of using?
I don't think he thought that far ahead.
He didn't. I wanted him to say that. I thought it would be cool.
I'm right here. You're talking to me as if I'm not actually here. That's not very nice.
I was thinking of pulling down some of those tapestries upstairs and tying them to myself.
Okay. Let's see.
Wait, no, that's a terrible
But with
idea.
ropes,
Isn't there like a falling spell, like if you fall down?
Yeah,
and
that's
you-
what I was wondering, if somebody in all of Elturel might know that spell.
And Lulu can fly, so we don't need to worry about
Right.
that. Well, Hylan can also probably carry one person.
Yes, I can.
And Corbin, how long can you fly for?
Well, I gotta, ask Ilmata if it's all right.
Yeah.
And then a minute.
Same.
So I feel like we could get down 200 feet in a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you wanted to fly, you could fly down to the surface of Avernus and hopefully nothing else that flies.
Yeah,
decides to-
that's the other thing I was thinking is there's a bunch of flying shit
Oh,
here.
of course. No, it's horrible. No matter how you look at it.
This is flawed, but I have to confess it does sound better than my parachute idea.
I agree. Perhaps we could try the flying and then also have this parachute idea as a backup plan.
Yeah. Thank you, Ofelia. Look,
No,
see?
I think the
I'm
parachute's
concerned
not.
about
we
the parachute.
we don't know how to make that.
I'm
Yeah.
concerned about not having it.
Well,
Seltern sort of nods and says,
What?
listen to him. He knows what he's talking about.
Oh, okay.
no, I think it's a terrible idea.
Well, it's not my plan A, to be honest. But if you're carrying me, Corbin, and
Right.
you die, no offense, I'm fucked. So I'd rather have a parachute that might work.
Well, I'm not going to die, right?
No, of course not. But I'm just saying, what if?
I also think that this might be a really wonderful opportunity for Renascence to really confront his fear of tapestries. If he's excited about this idea,
that's right.
I think we should encourage it.
God.
It's my chance to turn the table on those tapestries.
But
Perhaps, what if we draped the tapestry over the chains and then used them to slide down as a sort of a zip-line type device?
Even I think that's bad. I would like...
That sounds fun.
So, Matt, if no one forcibly restrains me,
I won't.
I would like to go up and cut down some tapestries.
I will support Renascence in his tapestry. Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe not like their rugs because that's heavy.
Right. It seemed like they're more curtainy type things.
Okay.
That were
Yes, the curtains.
Yeah.
You could chop those curtains down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking for. That's what I want. I want curtains.
That's fantastic.
Uh-huh.
So, like, what's my make a parachute roll here, Matt? That I'm sure you have planned.
Make an intelligence check. Investigation.
guidance.
That's as much guidance as I could possibly have hoped to get.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a
good.
4 on your guidance.
Okay, I've got a total of 9.
A 9 on your investigation. Sorry to say, Renascence, although you are fantastic at obtaining tapestries and curtains, once you lay it out, you're going to need to go to Seltern or somebody else to figure out how to put this thing together.
Ofelia, what do you think of this? I sort of gesture the hopeless mess of tapestries and ropes that I now have piled up. Perfect, right?
Well, first of all, you should cut it in a square.
Start.
Oh, you don't think my triangular parish?
Well,
I've already wasted a lot of curtain.
Seltern might have something valuable to contribute here.
Seltern, come and have a look at this.
Absolutely.
In fact, the more brain power, Duke Revenguard.
I quite agree. This is, yes.
Revenguard looks at your parachute and he says, "This is stupid."
Is any of us actually smart?
I have a +2. I mean, I'm not a genius.
You're
I'm
probably the smartest of us, though.
I have a +2 as well. We both have the same.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So
Someone make an investigation check.
I gesture hopelessly at.
Investigation I can do.
I will guidance.
Thank you.
And if Ofelia does it, I'll guidance her.
Thank you.
I only got a 17.
Only a 17. Ophelia with guidance gets a 23.
Boom, Ofelia. Mind explosion. You see all the parachutes.
There is this professor at my old Bard college. His name was Leonardo DiMasso. Leonardo DiMasso. You know, and he had these sketches. He was working on a machine. You know, this sort of looks, and she starts scribbling on, you know, whatever is there. I don't know if it's a dirt floor or if she can find a scrap of parchment somewhere. She probably has them in her bag. And just starts kind of trying to replicate, you know, what she saw in her professor's classroom, aka a cohesive design for this parachute.
I will therefore consider you, Ofelia, to be the architect. So whatever comes of their construction, good or ill, it's your fault.
Great. Or it's Professor DiMasso's fault. I suppose he may have been at that concert.
Oh, God.
I don't know.
Oh,
he probably
Lord.
was. I think it was
Okay.
everybody, right? It was really kind of most of the school. Maybe he was on sabbatical at the time. I don't know. Let's not dwell on the past, except when it comes to this blueprint.
Once you sort of begin to understand the mechanical setup of this particular set of parachutes and you begin the construction of it, there's a maybe an hour or two as you've attached ropes, made holes, fastened the ropes, put them in some kind of a leather harness that you all can wear under your armor. You sort of sit back and you look at the parachutes, essentially, that you've made. And I want you to make a perception check.
If I can see that she's doing it, I will give her guidance.
Yeah, I would go over and say, Ophelia, you want to talk to me about how these work? And then maybe talking through it will help you.
Why, yes.
I could give some advice.
Yes, I've rolled a 14 in my perception with the guidance.
As you look at the parachutes, you notice that there are some flaws in the construction.
Oh.
You put your hand at Hylan, just like, hold on for 1 sec, and you just are obsessed. It's like a musical piece. Like the creation of these parachutes, you become like a little jittery. You get that sort of racing heart again, like that you have to create it and it has to be perfect. Needs you to run over. You immediately start mending the pieces that are out of shape and would be probably aerodynamically unsound.
And these colors completely clash. Can't have that.
And you sort of fix these parachutes a little more, and you find that you are a little tired after doing that.
Oh.
Make a dexterity check.
Okay.
You can add any appropriate tool proficiency that you have.
I will give you guidance again.
Yeah, I don't have anything like
No
that.
tools.
I have a drum, a flute, and a violin, but I don't...
Wait, she's a bard, though.
Oh, that's right. She gets to Jack of all trades.
That's true.
Yes. Anyway, I do have a pretty solid bonus to my dexterity, and with the guidance, I think it's fine. So I got an 18 total.
You grab what you can and are able to really refine these parachutes where you are confident that if you fell from a height and what you can imagine that Professor DiMasso would actually have said would work.
Oh.
Pretty cool.
When you fall, what do? Like, pray to God to hope?
Well, you would flip the switch here.
It's got a switch. Uh-oh.
And then the curtains fly up, as you can see. It looks better when there's air behind them.
Just laying on the
I
ground
don't suppose
right
any
now.
of you knows what's the name of that spell? It's the like gust of wind spell.
Does anybody know Gust of Wind?
I can demonstrate it better if you can really see what it looks like.
We can make a little winds with thaumaturgy.
That's fine. Sure. Give it a shot.
Yeah. Go ahead and do that.
So yes, do that, and I'll flip the switch. See, it looks impressive, doesn't it?
What happens when the thaumaturgical breeze hits the parachute?
It sort of gently lifts the fabric.
I make a sound of fairy dust with prestidigitation.
Nice.
Ooh, magic. I like it.
Anyway, they should keep us safe in the event that we get dropped by either you or Hylan and are running the risk of falling to our untimely deaths. Or if you lose the ability to fly.
Yeah, I think it's one of the greatest plan Bs in history.
Jesus Christ.
Amazing.
I think it's shit, but all right, let's go.
Well, I'm more of an idea person.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
I couldn't actually do it, but
Well, there's one for everyone.
That's why we're a group.
sometimes somebody has to say parachute.
Corbin is not going to attach a parachute to himself, but he will take one.
Okay.
Just gonna put it in your backpack?
I'm just going to carry it under my arm, and if something happens, I'll just drop it.
I'm going to hook it on so that if my wings are out, it's not going to rip them off when it deploys.
Oh, jeez, I didn't think about that.
Wait, are we doing the parachutes first, or are we going to do the other thing first?
We're going to try to fly. The parachutes are just if something unfortunate happens.
We still got to get to the edge, though, right?
And maybe as something to patent later if they work well.
Right.
I think a
Yeah,
lot of
these are
people might be
impressive.
interested in these.
Lord Revenguard, Sister Jynks, Seltern, Reya, be safe, stay alive, don't take too many chances, try to help other refugees if you can. We'll be back with help as soon as we're able. Don't lose hope.
Sister Pherria raises her hand in farewell and says, "Do take care of yourselves, please. We will do the best we can here. With Duke Revenguard back, we should be safe for a time."
Corbin, that spell you was going to use to contact the Vrock,
Right.
if necessary, could we use it to contact Reya or Sister Pherria or the Duke?
Yeah. I think I can talk to anyone, anywhere, pretty much.
Might be worth keeping in mind in case we get some new information you may hear from Corbin magically.
In your head.
Corbin would like to walk up to Reya, like just stand over her, like loom over her like a big bugbear and stare at her, and then just give her a big bugbear hug, really hard, and then squeeze her, and then just walk away.
Are there any kids around?
There are.
Can I just sort of go round them up and ask them to all come over to me?
Sure.
Say, hey, kids, I have something for you.
They know who you are by this point.
I mean, some of them traveled with us to get here.
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
not
yeah.
forget.
That's true.
Matt killed their parents.
I did not. It was your fault, actually. Yeah.
No, I'm pretty
100%
sure
yours.
it was your fault.
Yeah, you didn't really defend them, so it's kind of your
We know
fault.
whose fault it was. We know.
Yeah.
Matt's fault. Killed him with a dog.
I say, kids, I have something for you. I talked to Bahamut. Bahamut was very, very important to Torm. They were very good friends and they loved each other very much. And Bahamut said I could give you something special from Torm. And so everybody hold out your hands.
The kids look at each other and then they all furtively hold out their hands.
And I'm going to cast light in my hand. This light is from Torm and it will help keep you safe and make you brave, okay? And I'm going to put my hand on each of their hands and I'm going to look very serious as I put my hand on their hand and like wait a few seconds and then smile at them, and then I'll move to the next kid and do that. And then I'll do that with all of them, and then I'll say, okay, we'll be back soon. And we're going to bring Elturel back, okay?
One little girl comes up close to you, looks at your hand, sort of turns it over, trying to sort of figure out how this is working. And then she looks up at you in the eyes. She's got these big blue eyes. She looks at you and she says, "We're gonna fight the bad guys."
Well, you let us do the fighting. You just stay safe, okay?
Okay.
I'm just gonna smile at them one more time, and then I'm gonna shing out my blades and do a little stab, haha. gonna go get the bad guys, and then I'll make them disappear, and then I'll walk out.
That little girl that said, we're going to fight the bad guys to Hylan, Ofelia is going to go up and say, you know who is really good at training brave people such as yourself?
She shakes her head.
My friend Reya. She points over and beckons over to Reya to have her come over.
Reya walks solemnly over to you.
This is your first recruit, Reya.
The little girl looks up at Reya, and Reya looks down at the little girl. The little girl says, "You fight bad guys?" And Reya says, "I try to." "Can you teach me how to do it?" Yeah, I can. And then she looks over at Ofelia.
Ofelia smiles.
And with that, the 5 of you take your leave of the catacombs under High Hall Cathedral.
Thanks for listening. This episode featured the Dungeon Master stylings of Matt Gordon, Tal Aviezer as Renascence, Andy Cannistra as Painbearer Corbin Shiv, Rachel Tamarin as Ofelia, and me, Carolyn Fox, as Hylan. This episode was edited by me and Tal Aviezer. Our original theme music is by Lauren Anker and Anthony DiMasso. Remember, if you enjoy Podcast Party, please follow the show, rate us, and leave us a review. That would be super cool. Thanks very much for listening. We'll be back in 2 weeks with the next episode.
Don't you realize what the Ark is?
Well, I didn't.
Is that your French accent?
That was horrible.
It was pretty rough.
That is not
Do you want to give it another try?
Don't you realize what the Ark is?
Stop it. No, it wasn't.
Solid.
Talking
It
too
was
quick.
better.
I
It was
just
better.
really wanted him to
Fucking-
do it again.
It was definitely
I'm
better.
sorry, Matt.
It was way better. Okay.
Maybe
It was,
Southern
it was
French.
certainly better than the first time.
Yeah.
But
All right.
bring Matt back.
Oh, okay. Hell, I'm back. Hey.